The Supreme Court turned away First Liberty Institute's request for an emergency injunction in Kentucky. The idea was to protect not just Danville Christian Academy, but all the Christian schools and other faith-based schools in the Bluegrass. The Supreme Court turned it away, but it's not over yet, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Hi, I'm Stuart Shepard, and my guest today is David Hacker, who's our First Liberty attorney on the case. Hi, David.
Hello.
First, let's set the table. What did Governor Andy Beshear do, and why was it so wrong?
So the week before Thanksgiving, Governor Beshear issued an order saying all schools in Kentucky must close the week of Thanksgiving and then stay closed until January 4th. Now, there were some exceptions to that if the county wasn't experiencing as much COVID issues as other counties, but functionally that meant schools were closed until January 4th. And so Danville Christian Academy is a religious school in the state, wanted to stay open, and believes that in-person instruction is fundamental to its Christian beliefs. And it said that's not right. This is discriminatory because at the same time that schools are closed, a child could have gone to the movies, could have gone Christmas shopping with his or her parents. The parents could have gone gambling at the racetrack. And so lots of other activities and gatherings were still open in Kentucky, but schools were closed.
Now, critics of your position on this, our position on this, say, well, don't you care about the safety of the students? How do you respond to that?
We absolutely care about the safety of the students, and so did Danville Christian Academy. Danville had spent thousands and thousands of dollars preparing for this school year, which was completely different than any other school year they've ever had to prepare for. They had temperature checks at the doors. They had mask requirements. They had shields put in on the desks so students would be safe. Parents were limited in their access to the campus. And so they had gone through all these safety protocols that all the public health authorities thought were the right safety protocols. In fact, the county was referring other private schools to Danville as an example of how to do it right.
Wow.
But yet Governor Beshear decided, well, no, we're just going to close everything.
So First Liberty got involved representing Danville Christian Academy. Explain the calendar for that, because the calendar is an important part of this story.
Yeah, so we got involved right when the governor issued his order, and we immediately the next week went to court, the week of Thanksgiving.
2 days later.
2 days later, we were in court that Monday before Thanksgiving, and we argued that the court should stop the governor from enforcing this order. And the court, the day before Thanksgiving, agreed and said, yes, this order is discriminatory. There's no reason why a student can go to the movie theaters or go shopping but not be in school learning.
Right.
And so the governor immediately appealed that to the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals, which stopped that order and functionally put the governor's order back in place.
Right.
And so we then turned around and went to the United States Supreme Court and said, we need you to step in and correct the problem here.
Also quickly, and
exactly.
That's an important part of this.
Within a matter of a couple of days, we were in front of the U.S. Supreme Court asking it to grant us relief, allowing Danville and other Christian schools in Kentucky to reopen. Unfortunately, the Supreme Court kind of waited a little bit. And so as a result, now schools are closing today. This is essentially the normal end of this semester for most schools, right before Christmas break and New Year's. And so the Supreme Court yesterday said, because of that timing, we're going to deny your request for relief, but let's see what happens after January 4th, whether Governor Beshear extends his order or not.
And that's an important part of this, because a lot of the headlines that I saw said, Supreme Court denies request by Christian school, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't exactly that. What they said was it came down to timing. Schools are going out anyway, so even if they agreed to the emergency injunction, it would have been for a day or two, which would have been pointless. But they also then, two of the justices added a note that was kind of an encouragement to you and the folks at Danville Christian Academy. Tell me about that.
That's right. Justices Alito and Gorsuch both filed what we call dissenting opinions, saying that they would have granted Danville the relief that it was requesting, the ability to meet in person for school. And particularly Justice Gorsuch noted the fact that, listen, these kids, they can go to the theaters, the parents can go gambling, you can be out and about in Kentucky gathering with people, but it doesn't make sense you can't gather at school.
They were quoting First Liberty's
That's right.
documents.
That's right. They were referring to our briefs and the arguments that we had made to the court, which is that the virus doesn't care how you gather. The virus can spread whenever people get together. And so let's make sensible decisions about how students can be safely in class, in person with their teachers. And so
Oh, go ahead.
no, and so Justice Gorsuch went through that and essentially said he would have granted us the relief we wanted, and Justice Alito said the same thing. The timing wasn't our fault. We were immediately up in front of the Supreme Court as quick as we could be, and we could have been given relief in time for those schools to reopen in person.
What happens next is the last question.
So it's a wait and see. We'll see what Governor Beshear does. As of right now, schools in Kentucky can reopen on January 4th, and Danville Christian Academy is planning to do that. Hopefully the governor understands that what he did was a violation of their religious liberty and does not issue a statewide closure order, but instead recognizes that schools can be open safely like Danville with all those safety protocols in place.
I know that you've really been on top of this, and we appreciate you and the work that you do. And if this work resonates with you, if it matters to you that Christian schools and other faith-based schools are treated the same as other schools in the state, other gatherings of people, whether it's a tattoo parlor or a gambling casino or a UK ball game or a Louisville Cardinals ball game, it matters. And if that resonates with you, we invite you to partner with us. We currently have, and I've got some news for you here, we currently have a $500,000 challenge grant that effectively maximizes your gift right now. But we also now are learning that there's an additional $100,000 being added to that. So scratch the $500,000. It's actually a $600,000 challenge grant. We want you to be able to take advantage of that before the end of the year. It's kind of the Christmas present to all of us from some of our generous donors, and we appreciate them. David, thank you for your time today. I appreciate you being here and sharing the insights on this case.
Thank you.